Being few steps behind doesn't necessarily means failure. Sometimes God is preparing you for a great
Angry
launch.
Bird!
It's weird looking back at YouTube fads. Some of them would just straight up last years. I remember when Angry Birds had the good half of the decade just completely engulfed. It was everywhere on YouTube. Now, I've already done Luigi Fan before, but that was a bit more of a self-indulgent shout-out. I'm gonna focus a bit more on the kind of crap I would watch while unsupervised. Okay, let's just get into it. Around 2011, I think everyone should know animated parody by now. It was just everywhere. It's the most famous of these, I think, just because, I don't know, kids liked guns at this point and Angry Birds, and this had both of those, and just the classic nostalgic quality adds so much to it. I love the microphone quality, still better than mine. This shit is just so funny by now, I don't even care. The comedic timing of this white bird not knowing what a gun is, and then pulling out this, is just unrivaled. We don't even actually know how far the birds and pigs are from each other, so we don't even know if any of these shell weapons are doing anything. This specific first-person shot is probably my favorite. Just the shield and the whole zoom in, it's actually pretty good. White is a certified Dusk player. And then this just happens. Speaking of guns, do you like political humor? No? Well, let's watch Pissed Off Birds anyways. This was made around the 2012 election, which I didn't really care about because I was a kid, and apparently it's like a pot shot to Barack Obama and oil companies. I don't know what the message is, though. It's like it's trying to say something, but I can't really decipher any of it. Anyway, like most 2010 parodies, this is edgy as hell. Birds basically are just launching themselves at CEOs, which, kinda based. They're just launching, pooping, and okay, this is pretty brilliant. He just fucking kills him. It's not even like he disappeared, he just turned to mush. So yeah, this is pretty brutal. This feels like something that South Park would have made, like, during the 2012 elections. This has basically everything that makes a parody of this exact time. Like, it's got gruesome, outlandish Pico school violence, political humor, boobs, just everything you need, really. Speaking of bizarrely violent and outlandish, there was this 3D animation some dude made of Angry Birds starring his son, which, looking back, I think this guy's probably an adult now. This was actually pretty impressive, especially for the time. Actually pretty good 3D animation, and I just love how bizarre the fatalities are against the pigs. Like, just look at this. They're getting set on fire, inflated like Dig Dug. There's a portal turret after them. There's even missiles. What is happening? I really like this one, but there's not much else I can say other than how cartoonishly violent it is and how interesting the birds they chose were. What is happening? Speaking of 3D animation, check this one out. It's, I mean, it's aged, but it's actually still kind of charming, even looking back. It introduces a new bird, which we don't actually even know what it does. It apparently bounces off structures, which I don't know how useful that's gonna be. It was really funny to just introduce this bird and then have it destroy like a single block. Absolute power move by the animator. That's such an oddly specific explosion. There's an interesting take on why the pigs stand still, and, well, I guess it's just Angry Birds at this point. And it has a couple nice shots, like this slow-mo and this thing. Terrence jump scare. I don't really have a segue for this, I just wanted to bring up for a short segment just this dude getting terrorized by birds after getting pissed off at his phone. Bro just got executed. I was gonna do effed up fids as well, but I don't really know how to talk about this one. It's just, I'm not sure if I'm getting what's supposed to be funny about this. Like, maybe it's just sort of the crudeness of it all, but it's just kind of, I don't know.
pisser.
Okay, maybe that exchange was kind of funny, but it doesn't really compare to this.
Oh, crap!
Anyway, somewhere on the later end of this list is Angry Birds meets So Retro. There's a few things that creep me out like the teeth, but this is actually pretty well made, especially for the time. Although I'm not sure why everything turns white upon impact. It's a pretty interesting concept though. The birds can't get through these bricks because they're not retro. They don't have the mushroom. Also, why are there two reds? I like this one. It's pretty simple, but it does a good job considering how computers were at this point in time. And then he gets the mushroom and it goes through him. I mean, it's probably better for Bomb. And now I'm gonna finish this with the Angry Birds rap. Yes, that is real. It's actually kind of fire. This was going to be a much shorter section just because I didn't have much to say on it at first, but now looking back, this is silly as hell. Like, I know this is like really obviously auto-tuned white boy rap, but I think you really need to listen to some of this like right now.
So the next fellow makes pigs get mangled after getting hit by the yellow triangle. Lightning fast and the speed will increase on 1, 2, 3, release.
The Lonely Island goofy ass. This would probably sound better without the filter, but anyways, it's still really funny. Also, where are they finding these images? I guess if this is like 2009 or around that time, this is probably just a bunch of random Google image searches. Pretty wild though.
Breaking everything that is in its route. They smell fear with the crashing.
We probably thought nothing of that Sam Spratt illustration, but it's been like so irony poisoned that it's just under a whole new light now. This one's probably the most confusing of all of them because there's a clear amount of work that went into the lyrics, and then you actually listen to it and it's like, what is happening? I don't really have many quips left for this. I guess I'll just show the last bit.
And the Mighty Eagle, I forgot about that one. Sorry.
He really just forgot to turn off his auto-tune, and something about that's hilarious. This guy should have been in the movie and he should have made a new song for that. Looking back, it's not really surprising that this fad eventually died out. There's not much you can do with the game series, and of course, well, I guess our humor hasn't changed, but you're never really gonna see parodies like this again. I mean, that's probably for the better, but also, I feel like it's just kind of important to YouTube's history to look at this kind of stuff. It's not even like Angry Birds wasn't a content farm. I mean, just look at Fun Video TV. And before you ask me to cover that, I'm not going to do that. Everyone has talked about Fun Video TV at this point, and I don't want to look at this again. I mean, just come on. I'll put all these in the description in case you want to archive them, but otherwise, I think I'm pretty much done with Angry Birds for, like, pretty much the rest of the year. I don't know what else to cover for this, so this is pretty much it. I don't really know how to end this. It's funny. Screw the pigs around helmets, hard hats, using tricks, fake mustaches and green skin. It don't matter cause I know I'm gonna win. Birds on my side, they're pretty fly, launch them in the air, pigs can't hide. It's totally fair, you took an egg for spy, and besides got my finger as a guide.